something about recent resets. Yeah, how long ago was that book, that 50 Shades of Gray? How long ago was that? Writing fiction as a type of truth to wrongly explain the crimes of the ruling elite. I could expand on that about, the murders, the abortions, the false God worship of the ruling elite. Welcome, everybody, to Mud Flood Was Armageddon. The Mud Flood was the Armageddon. Don't let them tell you anything else unless they're willing to debate you in a fair and honest way. I want to welcome Luther before I drop off here and try to share the screen, show the disclaimer. Look, there's the disclaimer. We're going to be looking at some videos, but kind of a provocative title. Going to blame Obama for everything? It's good to see you. It's good to be here. There's a plan. Now, what if, this is a DEI pilot. I'm talking about the airline crash into the Potomac. Blackhawk hit the flight, the American Airlines flight. It doesn't make any sense unless it was a murder. And I showed the video of Dabu 7 where it showed it's like, oh, she almost hit 3 planes before finally hit that one landing at the airport. Now, before we go on, my friends, do you remember not that long ago when President Obama's cook just mysteriously died? There's been, like the Clintons, people die. And now somebody else died that is connected with the Clintons. And I think as plausible deniability of when they're going to end up having to, looks like the girl was a DEI hire. That was the pilot. Unusual circumstances. Most pilots are warrant officers in the Army. She was a captain 5 years. The last 2 years, she was working as a press assistant in Joe Biden's White House for the publicity. And I think it was a hit on, let's just see, let's just show it. This girl here, is this what I got? She was on the crash, aspiring law professor. She had got a degree, very smart, was a former beauty pageant queen from Kansas, worked for Michelle Obama. So that's pretty interesting. Now the plane crash went down. What is this one?
We are going to be looking at some disturbing videos, strange and odd news stories.
Incident are safe and will continue to conduct an investigation into the causes of this incident.
The F-35 is the most advanced and expensive fighter jet in the U.S.
What's this one? Wow, did you see that? Just shot straight down. That's that medical flight, I think.
Let's go ahead and slow it down because that does not look like any plane that I've seen before that is crashing out of the sky. That looks like it looks like some kind of missile or some kind of rocket.
Huh. Showed her. I was wondering if she was gay. Because Obama, these people in charge, I guess that everyone is assuming, that they have quite a sex life, like Michelle and Obama are so in love, they're just having sex all the time because these people are sex obsessed. But anyway, so she did. There's your proof. Now here's the, you know, 400 feet, 200, twice as high as the helicopter was supposed to be. This is the view. This guy has flown it many times. And he talks about, you really got to concentrate on this one. And it is your perspective is the helicopter is going to hit it from the right hand side of your screen, but it not in this one. He lands it safely.
As they're coming in, most airports, excuse me, pretty much all airports, at 1,000 feet, you are not allowed to make turns below 1,000 feet. It's called being stable. And in fact, almost every airline has it, and you'll call it and you'll call it and say 1,000 and you call stable, and you may hear that. And that just means that you're stable, you're not sinking more than 1,000 feet, and you're not turning, or you're all configured. Now, Washington, now you can make turns to adjust to keep on the center line, but you are not going to be making big turns like this. Now, Washington National, at least for our company, makes exceptions for this rule. And
He
as
worked
you
for
can
the
see here,
same
what I'm talking
company,
about, they
12
start breaking
years.
off. So in the audio, you can hear several times ATC say, "Are you able for 3-3?" And I don't know if I ever didn't accept it. Maybe there was a time there, but again, this happens daily. If you are landing on runway 1, unless 3-3 has an issue or it's closed, they're going to ask many aircraft if you can take 3-3. And this is actually a very fun approach when you're doing it. I really enjoyed this. Now, you will be paying attention. Now, watch as this aircraft, as it comes in here, right? Normally, I tended to stay a little
You
bit
don't
more
even
left.
see
I
the
like to
airport
slide
yet.
over just
You're
kind
going
of
to
over
make
the
a
water
sharp
right here.
left
I
here.
wouldn't get this far over.
And this is
But,
about where it
this
gets
approach looks like it's going a
hit,
little wide, which is
and it
even better
crashes
for
right
flying.
there
I tended to stay a little bit
to
more
the
there,
river.
but the downside of that is what these people are doing here on this approach is it's a nice wide turn off to the left. Now, again, look, you're going to hear this 500-foot call, and here goes a full bank turn to line up on runway 33 here. Now, keep this in mind. I'm going to show you this video here in a second. So watch this approach right here as they make this turn. Now, this is the final 500 feet. They're making this turn. Now, you can see
So when you
an
get to
aircraft
400,
taking
you're
off on
right
runway
over
1
the
right there. It's
river.
just
No
across
way that
runway
helicopter
33,
should
and
be
it's
anywhere
off.
close.
Now, look right here as I pause this. You are lined up. They are maybe 200-300 feet. We are only maybe 10 seconds away for where this aircraft collided. Now, let's go to the actual crash video. Okay. Now, imagine you're a pilot, right? And you're watching here, and you're looking to the left. That helicopter, we're looking south here, which means that came to the right. So imagine all your
Yeah, he doesn't blame the pilot of the ship at all.
planes look like they're going to hit or collide. I mean, even here in this video here, as you come in, right? This aircraft is taking off right as they're approaching. You can see that aircraft right there is taking off as it's approaching. You might start getting RAs all the time. And then when you were perfectly safe to land, it's there. So I also just got off the phone with my military buddy, and he made a good point that typically when aircraft here are coming down.
That's a good one. So the 30-year-old victim, Kaya Duggins, former Miss Kansas graduate, previously worked for an intern for Michelle Obama. It's just, she was out visiting her poor sick mom. I guess she'd gone to church. I don't know. This is just speculation if I was writing a book or something, So this is the history. I was trying to find these videos. Now, changing gears a little
over
bit.
1,000 years. By removing them, Martin Luther didn't just alter the Bible, he altered the way millions of people understood.
You know, this is what the narrow road is going to fight. Martin Luther didn't take any books out of the Bible. Those Tobits and Maccabees and everything else, it's ridiculous. And this is computer voiced people just,
Prayer for the dead, angelic intervention, and the role of wisdom in divine justice, concepts that did not align with his new theology.
Basically, this computer is taking the stance that no, he ruined Roman Christianity by removing those books. It's messing with Christianity. We have a Bible. The Watchers and everything else are the good guys. They're not the bad guys. What's this one?
All right, hey you guys, and welcome back to Taking Flight with me. My name is Mike Rocket Blackstone, and I'm going to do an update now on the flight that crashed at the Potomac River, 5342. But before I do, I just wanted to go through and provide one. Okay,
That's a little confusing. What are you talking about?
which when I did my first video, I was not aware of the altitude requirement, which now we all know. It's a 200-foot route hugging the east edge of the Potomac, and it even swoops inland there a little bit, right about here. Looks like that route kind of dips in over the land and then continues along the east edge southbound at 200 feet, and he can't go above 200 feet till he gets, maybe way down here somewhere. But right at that point, you can see Blue Streak 5342 starts to head a little bit to the east and goes inland and begins to track this highway. I think it says 285 northbound, because he's flown this route before. That's probably a really great prominent marker that he can see, fly over the freeway so till he can pick up the runway lights and then descend on the Vassie or the glide slope.
Yeah, we kind of saw how that would work
looks to
at
me like
night.
what Blue Streak's doing. Okay, so remember that distance. So we got 5 nautical miles. Now, when I hit the
That's
for you,
too much detail. We got to get. What do you guys going here, man?
how about this one right here? Let's go back to this right here. This is an H-60 helicopter outfitted with what appears to be like a Garmin G5000, I believe, setup. And Pat may have had this. This is the
Now, there's also, the theory that this. Let's just go over what could be plausible theories. It could be the Obama thing. It could be she was said, you have to do this or we'll kill your whole family. Yeah, or it could be that they were somehow gassed and dead and a computer flew the plane into, or the helicopter into the other plane. There's a lot of things, but this is pretty much a girl that only had less than 500 hours of flight time and had spent the last 2 years working for the press secretary, that one that the tiny one that was in love with Biden and everything DEI, and we were all stupid. She got put in charge of one of the most powerful helicopters in the world after 2 years of being a press secretary as a captain, not a warrant officer, living in a house. And it's come out that, she's a DEI.
the upgrade for that Blackhawk series, that they would take an old helicopter and make it new. They would upgrade it to a much newer panel. And when I first started flying G1000 over COVID. I went out and flew a Cirrus, and I flew the G1000. Guess what my first question was? How do you set the altimeter? Because it's not easy. There's not just a knob that you just grab and set the altimeter. And as I did some research on this event earlier today, the Blackhawk helicopter. Okay, so when you learn about Blackhawk helicopters, if you look in the center section, there's a console there. That's like the console of an airliner up there, up top. That is blocking the view, dead center. If you are head on with something and it's above you, which it is, that aircraft may have very well been in this high area of the windshield, possibly blocked by that overhead panel.
Yeah. And why was the helicopter twice as high as it was supposed to be?
Between getting your pilot license and between 500 and 1,000 hours, something really sketchy is probably going to happen. And if it doesn't, it will. Because at that point, you think you have enough experience to keep yourself safe, and you've seen enough things that's going to keep you from killing yourself, and that's not true. And you'll make a bad call. So what I learned early on in my career is to listen to other pilots.
Right. Who thinks this was just a bad call? So that's that pilot breakdown. Let's close it and keep this short. Let's look at this Bible. What is this? I know that Sergio's had some questions and some other people, and it's been a big topic. It's in the Bible, and the Word became flesh. That's the Bible verse that brought me here. And the Word flesh became, dwelt among us. "26 times, pretty strong root word. It's something. Simon Bar-Jonah, flesh and blood did not reveal this to you, that he's the Messiah. No life would be saved, no body. The spirit is willing, our flesh is weak." It's a real thing. And the Word was made flesh. So these are things that, are on my mind as I prepare today of like, how am I going to go to these people and just say, look, you're messing with last semester and this semester. It's 2 weeks in. I'm starting my classes. Nobody's explained how come my bill got cut in half because I refused to pay. And I got all these other things going on in my mind too. And along with that, yesterday, decided to, get out. See the mountains on the mini bike. Lost, boy, it's a rough road. Took this picture. That's the thumbnail. It just this is the Rio Grande River that, one side was Louisiana Purchase and the other side remained Mexico. And I didn't even notice till later. I just wanted to see what type of supports they've used on this old railroad track back in the day. And somebody had definitely got the anarchy, and I'm not sure if this is some sort of an anarchy thing, but everything's tagged, isn't it? I don't know if that's the workers or what, but this is not. This is just tagging. There's some wildlife kind of far away. The middle of nowhere, Alamosa, with Salt Paco mini bike riding with the legendary winner of the Rio Frio here, and the defending champion of the Rio Frio, Joaquin Herrera, the man. So here we are. This is the big one. 14 different tribes. We're having a heat wave here. We're all about it. Warmest day ever. This is yesterday. The valley that I'm telling you, supposed to be warm again today. There's the reigning champion. There's some other mountains that are further away. Now, where are the sand dunes? Over this way? They're over this way. Okay. Is there really only one sand dune location? What's that small stuff over there? You can't zoom in. Oh, it's zooming. I couldn't tell. It was like looking right. You know, the sun is blinding me. Okay. That's better. You can see there's some small brown ones there. You see those? That can't be. That's covering up some. Right here. You know, so these are the 14,000 foot peaks. These are the Rocky Mountains. This is the end of the Rocky Mountains for the eastern side. It still runs south down through Taos. See a little bit more, but keep an eye out. Oh, I'll try to pause it. Some sort of an old structure. There's some on the other side. See, along with the. See those? Those are really 400, 500 feet. There's you know, above the plain, the valley. I think we're old pyramids. Something. Azteca style. Anyway, so Joaquin is driving your standard Coleman. Weighs about how much? 200 pounds. We lost those gloves. I lost them. Had to buy some new ones. All of the power that this one lacks. Now, and I lost this part of my bike. The middle of nowhere, Alabama. Well, and then this is the frozen underneath one of the. You know, they control this river so hard. And they were just trying to get some views of the eddies, and because it's kind of backed up here, and then it all forces through this one little channel. Because they divert right in the middle of the most of the river. Rio Grande now.
Oh yeah.
The Rio Bravo. That ice is holding it up. It's really flowing on this side. Look at those little vortices that are coming out of there. He must end up kicking some ice into the water. That would have taken that was going to be a swab.
No, yeah.
You just have to be smart enough to turn around.
Oh yeah, but like, look. Right
We
here,
were
this is
trapped.
the thing that doesn't be watered.
But there's this one weird rock
Yeah.
right there.
All right.
Look at that. That's a weird fold from a body part of a rock. Watching some more vortex action of how it picks up the ice. Over here?
Yep.
Okay. So that's you know, you got to get out in the sunshine some point in the day. And again, it's not going to be fun. I don't like going over there and trying to tell these people that, you know, everything they do at this college seems gay. And it's not that I can't be tolerant. I can. I know I'm in this world, but not of it. But here is, you know, a place in the middle of nowhere where the first female president was appointed on the recommendation of someone who flew on the Lolita Pedophile Express. It's that deep. And it does involve the, you know, the Obama thing. And I think that's going to be proven out, but only proven to people that are into conspiracies and stuff, because they're going to have a rational explanation. And all of this, you know, with the hope of Donald Trump going to do it. I needed to show one other set of pictures. One of the things from the downloads. Let's see. So this was a Miss Kansas. This is normally people that fly the airplanes. This guy had like 5,000 hours, and he was retraining the girl who only had 500 hours that was a captain. That's an honorary gift to somebody that is going to be an aviator of helicopters. Okay. There she is. This thing is blowing up. 11 years, and the largest massive solar panel thing is no longer working. Now, here it is. Everybody talks about Donald Trump's going to keep us out of war. It hasn't even been 2 weeks, and the United States military yesterday conducted airstrikes against Islamic State operatives in Somalia. The first attacks in the African nation during President Donald Trump's second term. Yeah, less than 2 weeks. Oh, they had multiple operatives were killed, it said, but no civilians. And Somalia gave their approval. The strikes destroyed the caves they lived in and killed many terrorists without in any way harming civilians. Our military has targeted this ISIS attack planner for years, but Biden and his cronies wouldn't act quickly enough to get the job done. I did, Trump said. This message is to ISIS and to the people in the United States to let them know, ISIS and all others who would attack America, is we will find you and we will kill you. So less than 2 weeks on the job, and I guess it's out the window that he's the peace president, because as far as I know, we withheld all of the funding for everybody except Ukraine and Israel. So I think it's talk. The Bible is true. It changes our life. We're born again by the Spirit. It's a flat earth nation. Golden age is past because the mud flood was Armageddon. Me and my friends will never tell you anything else. Why would we? We're trying to prove that we have our and your best interest in heart for a happy eternity. Amen. Hallelujah. Aho. Aloha. Arrivederci. Ciao. Sayonara. After Zayn. Nakaman. That's how I like to say good.